update. I'm Joe Kraus. So over the years we've had a lot of great coaches that have come through the Lumberyard. So you're probably wondering, who are the top 10? And well, today you're in luck because we're going to break down the top 10 greatest Lumberjacks coaches in school history. Now you're probably wondering, first of all, why we're doing this. Second of all, how we do it. Well, the first reason why is because we wanted to end the show rather with a big way. So we got the coaches today, and then the greatest players countdown coming up tomorrow. And the reason how is I basically took 2 months doing all this research, standing underneath the plaques in the Wall of Fame, copying all that down, and then going to the library and basically doing a bunch of research. So then we handed it out to a bunch of teachers. Dave Ritchie from the NC Sun voted as well. So we came up with a top 15. But right now we are going to reveal the top 10, so pretty exciting stuff. So here we go. Starting at number 10 from the pool, John Baranich, the swimming coach. He coached here at NT from 1965 to 1975, a 126-26 record in 10 seasons. Baranich won 3 Section 6 titles in 1967, 68, and 72, and also the 1968 season, NT became New York State champs. Baranich also had 3 undefeated seasons for you, the 65-66 year, the 66-67, and the 68-69 seasons, a combined record of 40-0 over those 3 years. He also coached 4 All-Americans, Ryan Kraus, Arthur Cady, Tom Skuse, and Jack Ramsey. Cady and Ramsey are also on the final ballot list, but we won't know the results from that until tomorrow morning. Also, in 1967, NT won the 400-yard freestyle relay state record of a time of 3 minutes and 24 8/10 of a second, and it is still a state record nearly 50 years later. Baranich was also the longtime director of summer swimming program at Memorial Pool. Coming up at number 9, from the Diamond, Mike Everwan, who coached NT baseball for 19 seasons. He won 3 NFL titles in 1989, 1990, and 1991. He also won 2 Section 6 Class A titles in 1994 and 2001. Some notable players for you: Mike Snopkowski, who was drafted by the LA Dodgers. He didn't get to play in the MLB, but still pretty cool. Also, Ed Mahoney, Tony Tassner, and the great Ricky Brooks. Coming in at number 8, up on the 3rd floor, Mr. Bill Roaring, the bowling coach. He's been here since 1999, 17 seasons with NT boys and girls bowling, and a career record of 328.5 wins and 163.5 career losses, 178 wins on the girls' side, and 150.5 wins for the boys. Mr. Roy has won 4 NFL titles so far in his career with the girls. They've been co-champions twice. They also were the Section 6 champs on the boys' side in the 2001-02 year. A couple of notable players to mention over the years: Cassidy Powers and John Shezer-Vinsky. Coming in at number 7 is John Lamar from the tennis court. He spent 41 seasons combined, 25 seasons with girls tennis and 16 with boys tennis. He's won 3 NFL titles with the guys, most recently in 2013, and he won 2 NFL titles so far with the girls team, most recently in 2014. 15 athletes have finished in the top 4 overall in Section 6. 8 have qualified for states, and 4 have received Division II scholarships, and he was also named the NFL Coach of the Year for the 2012-13 school year. Coming in at number 6, he recently called it quits on the wrestling mat. Dan Fire wrapped up a 14-year stint with NT Wrestling over 2 stints. He won 8 Section 6 Class A titles here at NT, 3 Section 6 titles, and NT Wrestling was ranked in the Western New York top 10 5 times, including this year, which was the first time that happened since 1997. Fire was also the 5-time Western New York Coach of the Year winner. He recorded his 100th career win on December 2nd, 2015. Coming in at number 5 is Terry Brocious from girls volleyball. He had a pretty good dynasty in the late 90s, early 2000s, an 8-season career, a 133-12 record finish. He won a 3-peat of state titles from 1997 through 1999, and in that span, they were also the Far West Regional Champs, the Section 6 champs, and he also won 7 consecutive NFL titles, a 107-7 record in league play, also 4 consecutive undefeated seasons in the NFL. Coming in number 4 is Richard Yeager from swimming. He was around even as well, 16 seasons on varsity, and he was with the NT swimming program overall from 1974 to 1997. On varsity alone, he won 238 meets, 6 undefeated seasons, 9 NFL titles. He coached 54 individual NFL meet champs, 19 sectional champs, and he coached 41 swimmers and divers in 73 state events and 10 All-Americans. So a pretty good career from Richard Yeager. Coming at number 3, he came on the show a couple weeks ago, TK Murphy from softball, 29 seasons, a state record 553 wins and just 140 losses. In 1988, they became the Class A state champs, a 26-1 record, one of the best teams in school history and one of the best teams overall in Western New York softball history. He won 11 Section 6 titles, including every year from 1983 to 88, as well as the early 90s, his last one coming in 1999, and also 14 NFL titles, but the biggest stat, he only had 1 season under 500. Coming in at number 2, the legendary George Vedder was voted in that spot. He coached football, basketball, and baseball in 2 stints, starting in 1937 to 42. Then he went overseas to serve our country, and then he came back from 1946 to 1970. In basketball, his best season came in the 1941-42 season, a 16-1 record when they were Western New York champs. And in baseball, which he coached for 24 years, they were the Class AA champions in the year 1950. Well, the reason why he's remembered the most is because of his performance on the football field. 28 winning seasons, a 194, 42, and 13 record. Still the most wins in school history to this day, and probably will be for eternity because of the inconsistency of coaches, the revolving door now. Because of it's hard. It's hard when you don't have a coach in the building. We'll just put it at that. 11 NFL championships, 7 undefeated seasons, and he went 25-3 against the Tonawanda Warriors. Pretty impressive. And finally, number 1, you probably guessed it by now, but Mr. Eric Jansen. That's right, in 11 seasons, an 86-23 record, 8 Class AA North titles, 2 Section 6 titles in 03 and 09, 4 appearances at the Ralph. And the reason why we all remember it, folks, is back in 2009, they became the New York State Class AA champions. I get tongue-tied just talking about a great season. Before that, he spent 3 years as the offensive coordinator. He averaged 34 points per game over an 11-year span. He outscored opponents in 2009 alone, 481 to 113, a 3-time Western New York Coach of the Year as well. So please welcome to our show, the Logs from the Lumberyard's greatest coach of all time, Mr. Eric Jansen. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
First of all, congratulations on winning our poll. What was your initial reaction?
Oh, it's a great honor. You know, to look at all the coaches on the list, I know a lot of them, and to be even mentioned with them, you know, it's an honor. And anytime you get an award like this, you know, people that are around coaching know that you had a great support system, and I certainly had that with Coach Tom and Coach Cook and, you know, Coach Zietz. Those guys were with me for a long time, you know, and they could all coach really well and get the kids motivated, you know. But Coach Zietz had a couple personality flaws you had to get over. But, you know, other than that, it was good.
Absolutely. You started out here, like we mentioned, as the offensive coordinator for David Stasi. You also had a pretty nice career. You just missed the voting for the top 15, but you won the Section 6 class title in 1979, the first year they actually had a sectional title game at the Ralph. But what did you learn from Coach Anastasi early on?
I learned a lot about how to run a program and how to, you know, treat people the right way, and how to do things in the off season, I think, more than anything.
What would you say was the first big moment from your career? Do you still remember your first game on the varsity sidelines as head coach?
Yeah, I still remember our first game. It was against Clarence here at home in 2000, I believe it was, and we lost. So, but you remember little pieces of every game, you know. So.
Absolutely. Just that entire state title run, how would you describe that entire season?
Well, a lot of things have to go your way in terms of injuries and things like that, and they certainly did. One of our best players, Steve Kajowski, shows up in my room the Monday before we played Lancaster in the state champ or the sectional championship game, and he had a cast all the way up to his elbow. And he was our fullback and our long snapper and one of our best defensive players, you know. And so as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh no. But he learned to snap with his left hand and played the rest of the playoffs and stuff. So you have to have a lot of luck on your side. You know, I've been lucky enough to go through it 3 times now, 2 with Orchard Park and 1 here. And that's the biggest thing I've learned. You know, everything has to come together. And the kids have to be a special group. You know, I think we learned that the second year at Orchard Park. You know, we had all the talent in the world, and we couldn't put the pieces together the right way because of some of the different attitudes.
Absolutely. Attitude was just unbelievable class from that team. Now, the game-winning touchdown play, we have to ask you. I know Derek came on last year and drew up the play for us, but how would you describe that entire moment?
I think, you know, that was certainly an athletic play. Derek is a great athlete, and he's good at pretty much anything he does, and he's a great person. He went up and made a catch over the top of a kid that was a pretty good player. Went to Virginia or wherever he went, but that was an electric moment, you know. And there was a couple of moments in there in that game that stick out in my mind. That was certainly one of them. But Joe Montesani diving for a first down on that drive, right in front of our sideline, was a huge one, and his brother making a big play on Danny making a big play on a defensive 4th and 1 stop.
Absolutely, just an unbelievable, crazy season and a great game, one of the best games in NT history. So now you're at Springville, getting ready to go for another season with them. Do you miss being able to be on the NT sidelines?
Yeah, I definitely miss, you know, being on the NT sidelines. The reason we left, we moved out of NT was because my wife's father was sick. He had cancer, and he's since passed away. And she wanted to be closer to her family, and it just didn't, you know. I didn't think being that far away I'd be able to do the weight room and all the stuff that it takes to be successful. So yeah, I miss it. You know, it's very hard coaching in a school where you're not teaching. You know, that's the biggest thing I miss. You know, I miss a lot of the people here, but I miss, you know, working with the kids that are in my classroom.
Last one, Coach, do you have any advice for our seniors, because they grew up watching those teams, watch that state title game? So do you have any advice for them as their high school careers are winding down?
I just think that you need to, you know, treat everybody with a lot of respect, and it doesn't matter what your talent level is, it's your attitude. That team that we won the state championship with, you know, New Rochelle has 4,000 kids in their school, and they had kids that were going to Division I, and we just beat them because of our attitude and our hard work ethic. So I think you just got to work harder than everybody else and have fun at what you're doing and treat people good.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming on. I'm so glad that we were able to do this. We had 7 years to do this, so this was pretty cool. And we wish you the best of luck this season.
It's been my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Our Greatest Athletes Countdown is tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.